Amsterdam.
We are.
Yeah. What are we seeing here?
A lot of trams.
Yeah.
A lot of traffic.
Yeah.
We are actually here at this place, the former soccer stadium of Ajax.
Uh-huh. But we're going to a different arena.
Yeah, a different arena, yes.
Mhm.
We are going to the Koningskerk, King's Church, when you translate it literally.
Yeah.
It is in Amsterdam-Watergraafsmeer. That is a part of Amsterdam.
Yeah.
It's quite a remarkable church, built in the same time, and it has an organ from 1960 from Mense Ruiter, who I think it was one of his first bigger organs. In 1954, I think. He did build his first church organ, so it was in a small period that he built a couple of organs.
Yeah.
But this was quite a big one. There was also a fight with him and the church architect.
Okay.
Because the church architect didn't want the design he made, or didn't even want to see an organ in the church.
Oh, okay.
But Mense Ruiter said, please, let me build this organ, and when there is something wrong with it, you can use your saw, chisel, everything you want, and change it.
Yeah.
But the architect later on agreed with the design when it was in the church, and he said, this actually is nice.
Oh, okay.
So he kept it.
Yeah.
There is the church. You see the tower?
Yeah, now we're talking 1960.
Yeah. I think.
Completely different.
Yeah.
So take us back to the era 1960. What are we seeing in society then? We have a post-war sort of scenery, and everything in Rotterdam is building up after all the bombing.
Yeah.
And Amsterdam wasn't badly hurt.
No, they didn't have that many bombs as Rotterdam.
No.
Of course.
No.
But I think a lot of things were going on during the war here in Amsterdam. Yeah. Everywhere.
Yeah. So it's a period of hope, I suppose.
Yeah. And they were building, expanding the city, of course. And in every, we call it wijk in Dutch, they built a church. This was a church from the Gereformeerde Kerk.
Yeah.
It was founded in 1834. There is a lot of history with all the churches in the Netherlands.
Of course.
But this was a Gereformeerde Kerk, and it was in use by them until, I would say, 1995.
Okay.
And now the Evangelische Broedergemeente is in this church, and a lot of members are from Suriname. And it is a totally different church than we are used to in Protestant churches. They painted the complete church white.
Yeah.
Everything is white.
Yeah.
And I saw some online church services here, and a lot of people are attending the church in white as well.
Yeah.
And those are really lovely people here. We did some work on the organ a couple of years ago, and it was an amazing time here.
Yeah.
We really had a time of our life.
Oh, good.
They were really lovely people.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, we liked it.
Yeah, we'll see if we can meet.
Yeah, let's try to get in.
Yeah.
First we have to find a parking permit somewhere.
That's a good start.
Because we are in the city of Amsterdam, of course.
Nou, maar ik heb van jullie genoten hoor. Ik heb heel veel geleerd.
Oh, leuk.
Ja, hier in de kamer en zo.
Ja.
Al die pijpen.
Ja, het is een little hole hier.
Want je weet niet hoe die pijpen.
They want you to tune the piano now?
Yeah, but I can't.
No.
I just said I don't want a piano tuner also tuning the organ.
Oh.
So let's stick to our own profession.
Yeah.
Here it is. This is it.
Yeah. And the smell is totally different here. Yeah. It's more like chlorine or very clean stuff. Yeah,
it is clean.
Yeah.
We hebben de deur op slot gedaan. Oh, want op de zondag, dan heb je die twee hier. Dan gaan die kinderen, hebben
when I tune the reeds, of course here, I tune mostly the dulcian on the 16 on the trumpet 8. And all the tuning wires are on this height, like this.
Yeah.
But the bigger ones are there, they are high.
They're very high.
But they made a door.
Just for them.
Just for them. Look.
A tuning door.
And then you can get there with your tuning wire. Like this.
Yeah.
Look. Isn't that nice?
That's cute.
Yeah.
Is it original, you think?
Yeah. All of these doors
Secret
are original.
doors.
Yeah.
And you need all of those keys. They're all different.
Yeah, it's all original. I always have to look what it is. And then it opens like this.
Sliding door.
Yeah. And it's quite... There's a lot of space in this organ. That's not very common for organs of the 60s.
No.
As you can see when you come up here, you can see all the pipes have a lot of space to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Really narrow scale, but in the bass, Mense Ruiter did always a really wide scale. So it was going from wide to very narrow. He likes basses in it, because a lot of organs in that time didn't have a big foundation, you know, in the sound, and he liked it, so he did it. What is also quite special is the length of the we call it a roer.
Yes.
He did a lot of experimental things with it. There is a roer somewhere in the rugwerk which has some cuts. So he tried different lengths and then soldered it on again. It's quite nice. Yeah. It is, of course, not an organ we should build these days, but I actually like this as a masterpiece of Mense Ruiter, one of the founders of our firm, and we treated it like a monumental organ. So every changes we saw that were made after Mense Ruiter worked on it, we tried to reverse. So what you hear now is almost the original sound of Mense Ruiter. And of course it is loud and high mixtures. But yeah, this is one of
it's an
the
aesthetic.
few I like. Yeah, I think it's quite a good concept for 1960.
Yeah, and it's still sort of quasi-historical actually, because it's a very definitive period.
Yeah,
and it's 65 years ago now.
Already, yeah. There was a lot of controversy with this organ. There was a famous Dutch organ advisor. He was here incognito at the inauguration, and the real advisor of this organ was playing the organ. And afterwards, the other advisor wrote a big thing about this organ, that it was bad, and there were technical problems during the inauguration, and the sounds were not in balance, and the organist couldn't play, and it's really nice to read. I have it somewhere still. It's really funny. It's a big fight on paper. It's really nice. 1960. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's quite unusual to have an organ from Groningen here in the middle of Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how they got to Mense Ruiter here. I have no idea, actually.
And the placement of the organ is very unusual. It has 15 degrees angle.
Yeah.
In the church.
Yeah.
You can tell by the wood here.
Yeah.
And we will see it when we get down there. And why did they do that? Because they must have been placed back in the church, right?
I think that's an architect thing.
Yeah. They thought it was nice.
Yeah, I told you already about the fight with the architect and Mense Ruiter. That the architect didn't want the organ. And I think this was a compromise. But normally you would say you would put it at the other wall there. But I think the architect was really against it. I imagine. Yeah. But yeah.
It is special.
It is.
Yeah. Well, we must hear it. I must back down here.
Yeah. Be careful.
Yeah. There's no handle.
Nothing at all. It's only for the organ tuner, so it shouldn't be safe. It's always the same. This one.
It's a spaceship. I mean, if you look at it, the light from the windows
Yeah.
and everything, it's really a
It is like a space.
very unique
Yeah.
design. It is
It's
nice.
1960.
It
We did
is.
some revoicing on the reeds, reversible, because they were really bang in your face and without any foundation in it. So we, the shallots in the blocks, we took it a little bit more out so the resonators would get a little bit longer. And now we have a really nice sound. And the same with this.
More reeds.
Yeah, more reeds. No, the last one. Okay. We have one on the pedal. It's just for melodies. So he really had the organs in the Groningen area in his mind. In his
You
head.
can tell. Yeah. It's really a nice stop on the way to something else. Yeah.
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 Especially when you look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still proud that this is part of our history too.
Yeah.
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 Of course, you know, you will never make an organ like this again, I guess. But yeah, now you look at this and you hear it. It is a concept, and it fits in this room, and
Yeah.
it closes together
Yeah,
the sound,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.